Hey, guess who stayed up till 5 in the morning? Or no, who's been working since 5 in the morning to rewrite the entire dungeon generator. Yippee. So, what's new? Well, firstly, I rewrote it, so this time, only the people in your party and you actually generate the dungeon. So no strain on the master client. Then I rewrote it, so we have absolutely zero waiting time. So generating the items takes a similar amount of time as would the blocks itself. So practically nothing. It all happens in one frame. By extension, that also, means that networking is kind of impossible because you can't really instantiate objects and then network them. So what I did is I settled on a table system. So here's our seed. Our seed contains the X length, Y height, and Z width. Then the block ID list. So this is the chunks, or what chunks are going to be rendered. Then the spawn block where you spawn, the goal block where the stairs or the item or whatever the goal is spawns, and then the item spawn list. So this is a table that just contains all IDs for each chunk of the items that generate this. Now this is done properly, so we do roll for random chances and then check if the item should spawn or not. If not, it's a -1, so that means there's nothing that spawns there. And then we compact that into a seed, and then we just network that seed. So the actual client itself doesn't have to do any fancy random bullshit or whatnot. It just look at the chunk, look at the spawn, look at the item index, and then just get the correct item, and then of course down here initialize it, and that gets the basic idea of we have our item table, network it. But the issue is still how, of course we would want that if I pick up an apple, you see that I pick it up. Well, each item already has an index, so it's sort of like an ID. So when you pick up an item, it looks at the ID and it networks that ID to everyone and says, hey, I've been picked up. And then that ID, and then, that method says, get the item with that index and then hide it. So in practice, this looks something a little like this. Join dungeon. Right. So generating a dungeon, 1 frame. I click this button, boom. That's it. The dungeon is generated. We can now join or go into it, and all items are gonna be spawned here. So, there's 2 berries here. Obviously. Sadly, you cannot actually physically pick them up as previously. They are still physics objects, so they still, roll around in the environment if they spawn on a slope or something, or, on a moving object. They still are physics simulated. So they do still kind of exist. It's just that if you pick them up, they just get added to your inventory. And as you can see, that's completely networked. So picking up on this client, the other client sees it. Let's run over to this one. Oh, no, that's how I want. So by the act of me picking it up, it does properly disappear. Let's look at and try and find an item that is, physics simulated, or not physics simulated, but that is affected by physics. So there is no item spawn right here on the edge, but there is an item spawn like up here. So that means that this berry, and I think also this apple, just tumbled down. And if there was ever any environments that are animated or water that has some sort of movement trigger in it, they do all properly move with the objects, because they are, again, they're still physics simulated, but you just can't pick them up. Because if I were to pick up an object, then the other person wouldn't be able to see me holding the object, even though, you know, it's complicated. And this way I also don't have to worry about stealing objects, because you can just walk up, press it, and it's in your inventory. Speaking of, let's go and look at that real quick. So inventory, all the items are picked up, listed here. It all works as just like before, with the exception that it's written better. You know, in theory. That being said, yeah. Unfortunate that networking is just restricted that heavily, but, you know, this kind of not or out of my hands. I can't just walk up to the arch and be like, hey buddy, can I have more networking? It's sadly not how it works. But yeah, that is items done, properly done, somewhat done. I don't know. I still have to do items and I have to do enemies. I'm not sure how I'll handle that, because if you look at, you know, this is one enemy technically. And if we look at the network tab for it, enemy, that's 68 bytes for one enemy. Our limit is about 11 kilobytes, so we're not quite there yet, but I'm not happy with these, but like this is already half. We're already above half with incoming. I mean, I don't know what the difference between incoming and outgoing, but on this one we're already at the limit of half. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I want a promotion. Thank you very much. Bye bye.